He nods his head and waves at you. In front of him on the desk is a map. It looks like a map of the ruined countryside, and standing around the room are several other mercenaries. Now we're each going to introduce our characters. Who is Augusto?
So some of you may have seen Augusto as you were coming into the Baron's, building. He was kind of dashing from shadow to shadow, and he's a tabaxi. He looks way worse for wear. I mean, his normally pressed monk robe is tattered and torn. He's got cuts and bruises all over him, and he's looking, as he was coming, he was looking left and right and right and left. And when he gets in there, he seems nervous. His head's kind of hung low, and he just says, "Good to see you, Baron. It's been a while, but I'm happy to be back. What are we doing?"
I hope you've been staying out of trouble. I tell you, the last time you had those debt collectors on my back. Don't do that again, please. Introduce Merrick. Selma.
That I will. So, Marek is just a normal human guy, as you can probably see. Has a bun done up a little bit to get a little bit of hair out of his face, a bit of facial hair growing in, and he's wearing this cloak and very much just I'm trying to remember the specific. Yeah, brigandine armor. There you go. I'm wearing brigandine armor. He's basically lounging on the couch at the moment. And if anyone in the party, I don't think anyone in the party knows besides probably Gray, but he is the son of the late Katerina Stoya, who has passed away several weeks ago. But despite that, he's now carrying himself into these expeditions with surprisingly light heart, or at the very least he seems to have, or at least that's how it seems to be.
Oh yeah. Who is Aiden, also known as Dynasty?
Dynasty is a fairly unremarkable human. He comes from the Northlands. He has spent a lot of time with the elves. The more attentive amongst you might notice a peculiar necklace featuring a perhaps familiar sigil on it, that of the Iron Crown, though he doesn't seem to be talking about it at all. He is holding a gizarm, which is a large, high-range weapon that he seems proficient with, and he's just come here to help with another mission. He has proved his mettle by fighting in the Unagi dungeons for the past, not past few weeks, but every time he's been able to, he's gone to the Unagis.
Oh yeah. Who is Mr. Gray?
Mr. Gray is a human, and quite a large one too. He's rather tall and muscular, though it's often hidden due to his poor posture and kind of loose clothing. He wears a hood and a creepy kind of gray cloth face mask, and recently he's been wearing like a jewel-encrusted golden crown fit for a king. Rumor has it that he spent his vast accumulated wealth on the crown instead of any sort of equipment or magical items, though it seems to offer no benefits. But he often is cold and serious and likes to whisper unnecessarily, and is questionable whether or not he's all there mentally.
Fantastic. All right, now the two newcomers walking in the door. I've just described all the other characters that you've seen, but now you can describe yourselves. Who's Raynora?
Raynora is a fairly tall, 5'8", 170-pound. She's a barbarian from the north. She's been on a ship. She's been a sailor. Lost her family at sea with a lot of friends, and was picked up by a pirate ship. She was the sole survivor of a wreck and picked up by some pirates who pillaged villages. She wasn't crazy about because they were kind of indiscriminate, and so she escaped from that, and now she just does not want to go to sea anymore and just wants to work on honing her skills on land. And she's looking for work, and she looks around at the group and with kind of a sideways but concerned smile and waves.
The Baron waves back. Ah, welcome, Raynora of the North. Make yourself at home. And finally, who is Zero?
Zero is an elf Eldraine from across the country, far away, who has arrived in the ruined countryside in order to seek his own fortune. He is an agent of another noble, but has fallen into his bad graces, and so has come here to make new alliances and hopefully re-establish himself as either a new agent of the Baron, or perhaps forge a partnership with the Baron with his last noble person that he served. He is dressed in leathers, he has a short bow, and a short sword.
Ah, Zero, I'm glad you could make it. I'm sure your talents will come in handy. There are many dangerous tracts of land in the ruined countryside, and a person like you should be very helpful, I imagine, in safe passage.
I'm happy to be here.
All of you gather around. And he points to his table in front of him where there's a map. He points to the spot right here. I think all of you should be able to see my ping. You'll follow the road for about 2 days, and you'll reach a camp with some standing stones, heading north along a trail from there, which many of you, he points to everyone but the newcomers, and maybe Aiden, should know the way. It is a little treacherous, but we've made do and found paths that the wagon can handle if you want to take one. That place is filled with the undead, and they have a tendency to come back, so it's advised to burn their bodies or pour holy water on them to avoid repeat encounters in future expeditions. There are also some sort of humans that live inside that place. They live in filth, and they smell disgusting. They wear an iron crown on their head with 5 points. It's a symbol of the old gods. Some eldritch beings that I don't know exactly the story behind them, but I know they're terrible. And I hope that they do not exist. Aiden, why do you wear that on your neck?
It is a relic from the elves. I found it in the library, inside a book. But the librarian couldn't tell me anything about it. So after hearing about your... you're looking for new people, I figured I would try and visit, and I believe this is the place. I've heard other Highlands talk about the basement down the manor. I would like to go there someday, but I fear I need to be a little stronger for that first.
Despite the fact that it is a fairly warm spring afternoon, the Baron shivers behind his desk. I had hoped that whatever that is was contained within this place. Now I fear it has infected the wider world already. You may take what provisions you need from my stores. Provisions are provided free of charge. As much food and water as you need for a perhaps 7-day expedition. It'll only take you 2 days there and 2 days back, but that way you can camp overnight in the dungeon if you want to. You'll also be provided with basic things like a 10-foot pole, some flasks of holy water, 4 flasks of oil, a healer's kit, and he pulls out a sheet of paper and hands it to anyone who wants it. On the sheet of paper is a list of provisions that are commonly sent on expeditions. I just showed a document. There's a link in it that says provision tracking sheet. If you look at the provision tracking sheet, that shows what items are taken commonly on expeditions. Will you be wanting to take a wagon, perhaps a packed donkey for carrying things, or would you like to just carry it on your backs?
Sirius says, we will take a wagon.
That is fine and well.
If we take a donkey, it will attract the spider moose.
The Baron strokes his chin. Yes. Maybe. In addition, he gestures to his cabinet, where there's a suit of rusty-looking armor, and there's a bit of orange staining on some bits of the armor's like ends of the plates. There's also several swords, some stones, a couple rings, various things in these cabinets. If you all direct your attention to the assortment channel on Discord, that channel is a list of all the magic items in the Baron's collection which have been found on expeditions or things he owned prior, and he sends them on expeditions with the hired hands. Each person may take one item and you're expected to bring it back safe. So if someone dies, you should try to get at the item they took and return it to the Baron. What do you guys want?
Yeah, so Zero steps up. I would like a potion of healing.
He opens a cabinet and pulls out the potion of healing. I think there is one, yes, and hands it to you.
Thank you very much,
Don't
Baron.
use it lightly, but I hope it saves someone if it's needed.
I will.
My luck has not been good. So I would like the luck stone. And he puts the stone in his pocket with a greedy look in his eyes.
Just please, don't sell it. Bring it back.
Mr. Gray
Keep an
takes
eye on
the
him,
sunset
Mr. Baron.
scimitar.
Alright, now I would note that you're not proficient with the Sunset Scimitar, so it will have a -1 damage and a +1. I mean, a +1 damage and a -1 to hit,
Yeah.
actually, since it's a +1 weapon.
Indeed.
Okay, cool.
Raynor
By the
looks
way,
at them.
Lord Baron, oh, shit, sorry.
Go ahead. That's all right. Go ahead.
What is it now?
I had a bit of a special request.
Yes.
You don't happen to have a gemstone that you would be willing to part with? I'm more than willing to pay for it, of course.
The Baron opens one of his drawers, shuffles around, and pulls out a green emerald. This was recovered on an expedition some weeks ago. Many precious stones are found as treasure in the estate. My ancestor from whom I inherited it was a fan of such things. I sell them, but the jewel trade is not able to accept an oversaturation, and so I have some in my stock. If you have 100 gold, I will give it to you.
Oh, I absolutely do.
Right, you can
Right, would have been
deduct 100 gold from your sheet, and he gives you an emerald of decent size that's worth 100 gold and will work for your spells.
Raynor
Alright.
steps up
Nice
and
trading with you.
looks at the things and sees this sort of chivalry that heals. She's kind of studied medicine to a little degree on the ship. She helped patch wounds and such.
Yes, I think there was a story about a sword like this one. The swept hilt of the rapier looks like a magic healing sword from one of the legends of your people. You think that this is probably one of those magic swords that can heal.
Okay, I'd like to take this if no one else wants to take it.
By all means, please do, and be careful out there. I know that you're wild and fierce, but there are things in the ruined countryside that you have not yet seen.
Well, I look at Gusto and think I might really need this, looking at his trashed condition. So,
It fits you, fine lady. Please, I will have your back if you have mine.
I will. I always have everyone's back.
Even your own. That seems illogical.
I just look at him with a strange look. Because after seeing the bar thing, I'm really concerned about this character, but...
Mr. Gray also trades in the Sunset Scimitar for the Cursed Greatsword. She carries on his back.
Okay. Be careful with that.
trade.
Sword
First
of
great
Ra.
sword.
Indeed.
It would be tragic if you were to fall victim to its curse. Although I'm sure that you can handle such things if you're careful. Do
Certainly.
not touch it lightly. What of you, Aiden or Dynasty?
Has the Luckstone been taken?
Yes, our friendly neighborhood tabaxi needs some luck.
Right. I had my eyes on this little red pendant, but it feels wrong. I'm not gonna touch it for now. So I think I'll take nothing. Thank you anyways.
He pulls out let's see.
The Vulcan pendants.
Takes
Top.
an an eyeball out of a jar, and it looks preserved in some orange grease, and he says, "Please take this if you would take nothing else. I know it may be disgusting, but if you force feed it to someone who's unconscious, it will heal their wounds and restore them to consciousness. It could save someone's life if they're dying."
All right. He's reluctantly going to take the eyes.
So, how many hits does the Sword of Chivalry have left?
All
Did you
3
guys
wasn't
use
used last expedition.
Okay.
Merrick,
Right.
is there anything I can offer you to take with you on your journey?
I mean, I already appreciate the emerald. I'll be trying to make good use out of it, but if I were to take something else from your assortment, I suppose maybe that dagger. One of the few things I could probably use, although
Indeed.
my condition might be a bit complicated.
He sizes you up, and just forgive me, I'm not a man of medicine. What might be your condition?
He just waves his stump arm.
Forgive my indiscretion. When I was younger, I saw many such wounds on the battlefield, and I don't even think about such things. Here, you can use it with one arm, perhaps half as effectively as with two. He hands you the knight's dagger.
Lovely.
And you could always give it to one of your companions, I suppose, if you need to.
We'll see if the situation
well.
calls for it, I guess.
If there's anything on this list, anything you don't see that you need, let me know. If not, the wagon will be out back with the servants.
Very well.
Perhaps you can write my mother back. And he steps forward and hands the Baron some letters, sealed and perfumed.
The Baron stutters and takes the letters and slides them into a drawer. Augusto, could you please give me such things in private in the future?
Of course, of course.
Anyhow, good luck on your expedition. I hope all of you come back alive. Remember, self-preservation is paramount. And I'd rather you come back in one piece than defeat whatever it is you set out to destroy.
Mr. Gray waves a hand in the air. Yes, we shall come back in 6 pieces. And then he strides down the stairs, heading to the stables.
Alright, waiting out by the stables is a man who looks kind of like a peasant. There's 2 large hounds standing beside him. He bows his head at Mr. Gray. "My lord, I have trained your hounds for 1 week. Would you like to take them with you on the expedition? I think they need some rest, but they will still function just fine."
Mr. Gray nods and says, "Yes, the canine beast shall accompany."
Alright, so they do have enough XP to level up to level 2, but they won't do so till they rest, so they're still level
Indeed.
1 for the expedition. Alright,
The Tabaxi looks absolutely horrified at that prospect, hisses at the cats, and runs forward to scout ahead of the group.
Sorry,
Alright, so it
before we
sounds-
fully...
yes, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say, before we fully, go on the expedition, I think Marek would bring up his ability to upgrade at least 1 piece of armor or weapon amongst the party. So in which case, any takers?
Aiden would raise his hand, just like old times, eh?
Right, but for what, the spear, armor?
The Gazam, and he holds out his Gazam, which is it's a spear, but it has many blades. I remember you gave me the enhancement on my first time, and I was able to shred many a beast.
Well, hopefully we'll repeat some of that luck. In which case,
Thank you
yeah, I'm
kindly.
gonna do, hold on. Do enhanced weapon, so yeah, treat your weapon as a +1 for the moment.
Oh, very nice.
Noted. And Aiden is carrying the 10-foot pole.
Alright, Right, and also one thing I'd note, since we have 2 characters of Polearm Master in this party, is that there's a separate version of Polearm Master in my house rules. The only difference is that the light attack that deals d4 damage deals the same damage type as your normal attack does, representing that you're not like spinning your weapon in a circle as you're attacking. Instead, you're just attacking with it rapidly. So a spear will deal piercing with the d4 attack, and a disarm will deal slashing. Alright, you roll over the hill in the wagon and roll down into the old forest. The road is a little bit rocky, and it hasn't been traveled other than by other expeditions. This is not a trade road, as there's not much business in the ruined countryside. It's a place that most people avoid, particularly in large groups. As you travel, I heard that Augusto's scouting out in front. Who's driving the wagon? Who's riding in the wagon? Is somebody walking on foot beside it or hanging back? Someone else scouting?
Aiden might be further forward, not Augusto levels of forward, but not with the main party.
Alright, Aiden forward.
0 will be to the left of the wagon, taking a look out.
Renora's gonna ride in the wagon because she wants to be ready for anything and well rested when she's faced with anything.
I'd like to also be riding inside the wagon and specifically working on summoning forth my homunculus serpent.
Alright, and does that mean that
I just acquired.
Mr. Gray, he would drive the wagon then if no one else is.
I was gonna say, that leaves Mr. Gray as the driver. Alright, the journey is relatively uneventful. You see some small animals like deer in the forest, but you don't see anything horrifying or dangerous. And I've also updated the document to have the travel order.
Nice.
After about an hour and a half of travel, and by the way, the X represents the current position, 1 and the 2 represent about 1 or 2 days of travel. You come to a grove of trees where the trees are covered in fungal growths. They all look dead for about 100 feet radius. It's a rather large swath of dead forest, and maybe to the alarm of folks who've traveled this way, you think that the area has grown larger just in a couple weeks. Carry on or interact?
Mr. Gray would keep driving the wagon unless someone wishes to have him stop.
What do you think? I've never been here, 0 says. Where do you think would be there if we were to take a closer look?
I believe it is trees.
I've never been there either.
The trees dwell in the forest. Nothing more, nothing less.
What's the story on the spider moose that people ran into? Do you know anything about that?
Yes, it was a terrible creature. But it only comes out if we bring a donkey or equine beast with us. We should be safe for now.
Well,
we have a horse on the carriage.
Right, that's an equine beast, dude.
Mr. Gray kind of cocks his head like he's lost in deep thought, and then kind of looks back and says, "Maybe so, but it's different."
Okay.
You know what?
For
one, I'm very glad they're different. I would prefer to keep our horses and not have to walk the whole way there.
Right.
Certainly.
I'm gonna climb out of the wagon and trot up alongside. Who am I gonna head up to? I'm gonna go up to
Aiden.
Yeah, Aiden. I'm gonna go up to Aiden, trot up next to Aiden, and say, "So is this guy okay? This Mr. Gray? What's your thoughts on him?"
I've never been with him, but he doesn't seem dangerous or incapable. He's clearly got experiences, so if anything, we should follow his lead, as long as it makes enough sense.
Okay, alright with that then. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue to walk along. I'm gonna ask him, do you know anything about that spider moose? He's kind of saying that it's scared of donkeys. Or attracted by donkeys.
I did read the notes that the battle master made on it. Something about not looking at its eyes, but there wasn't much more information, I'm afraid.
Alright.
So the
Right.
travel day goes uneventfully. To the north, you watch some large mountains pass by. There's no snow in them. It seems that it rains a lot, and it's a rather temperate climate. Indeed, as the day wears on, it actually gets a little bit warmer and drier than at the start of the journey. You've traveled for about 8 or 9 hours. The horse is tired, and so are those who've been walking on foot. You think you can't travel any longer without having to make checks to avoid levels of exhaustion. What sort of spot are you guys camping at? By the road, off into the trees, by a fairly moderate-sized clearing that the expeditions often camp by?
Zero speaks up. I say we go to a clearing.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Fine by me. Surprised we haven't
Sounds like a plan.
yet.
Indeed.
So are you guys making a fire during the night? What sorts of things are you doing as you set up camp?
Yes,
It's safe
unless
to have a fire here.
others object, then I would vote for a fire.
I say fire.
Yep.
Fire's
I
fine.
would also say fire, mostly because Merrick would be spending the entire like camping time just fully trying to bring this homunculus to fruition, and if possible, actually bring it to life.
The fire's fine.
Okay.
While the camp is presumably being set up, Mr. Gray would approach Zero and kind of stare at him for a second and then ask, "You, why do they call you Zero?"
It's a long story, but as you may or may not have heard, I fell into poor standing with my previous noble that I was serving under. And Zero is the nickname I earned after I returned from an expedition with 0 of the objectives filled. So I need to shake the name. I have embraced it so far.
0 of the objectives failed. Would that not be a great boon on your part?
0 of the objectives gained.
I see. And you keep this name. Do you fail every objective? That would be disappointing.
Hopefully not.
Upon the conclusion of this expedition, hopefully we can call you 1 or 2 or even 3. That would please me.
I like you, Mr. Gray. I hope that to be the case as well.
Maybe so.
0, you have inspiration. And by the way, in this game, how inspiration is used, you use it before you roll.
Okay, you got it.
The night actually, so during the night, oh yeah, let's get the watch schedule. There's no combat that happens during this expedition. We did roll a different kind of encounter. But what's the watch schedule like?
Oh.
Mr. Gray takes the last watch
Okay.
and does not stand the watch, but instead has his dog stand watch.
Right?
Dynasty would also take last watch.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Renor
and I
will
think
take
0
the
also
first
said
watch.
3 and 4.
Okay, then I'll take 2 and
Let's
3 then.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I didn't see you had already put the...
That is okay. I can take a watch, And before we all, like, as we're getting the fire going, Augusto brings the people together and says, I have been down on my luck lately, and I am indebted to some savory characters, and they have instructed me that if we can kill, that there is. I fought him once. There is a room where we are going, and there's a kind of a skeletal underlord, and they're saying if we can kill him, and I give my share of whatever he has. People have been talking about this in the bars a lot. There's 6 of us. I would hope that you would help, and that we can make that our objective, to kill that overlord and help me free myself from my debt.
Right. What happens if we don't kill it?
Well, you may not see me for a while.
Would all of us not be dead if we failed to kill it? There's no other choice. We must
Then
kill
so we
the
can run
skeleton
away.
man. It is the only way.
Yes, I like this one. He slaps
Right.
him on the back.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And was Merrick doubling up one of the watches, or was Merrick sleeping?
Right. I was going to say because using my second artificer infusion, I would suggest to have my homunculus servant just instructed to basically watch throughout all the things because it's tireless. Basically, it's a construct.
Perfect. Sounds
I'll
good.
take extra sleep. Thank you.
All right. So the night passes in relatively uneventfulness. However, all of you are struck with terrible nightmares throughout the night. Toss and you turn to sleep, and on each person's watch, you see that all your companions seem to be sleeping fitfully. However, and it does seem a little unnatural, you've never seen nightmares afflict an entire camping group at once, unless they've just undergone terrible events, and nothing terrible has happened yet. The nightmares are benign, though, in the grand scheme of things, and none of you suffer any levels of exhaustion or prison damage from this. Aiden, I think you, though, in your nightmares, you're certain that when you wake up that you have dreamed of the great eel that you've seen in the Unagi dungeon. Some eldritch thing, an eel so large that it would be perhaps stretch for miles, coiled beneath those dark chasms. You feel that the eel was watching you in your sleep. You all wake up. The morning light is a little gray and eerie, a cloud cover is blown in. You're all in one piece, and nothing has disturbed your slumber.
Alright, I pack up camp.
During the second day of travel, after about maybe 4 hours of travel, there's the forest breaks and you're out on an open grassland. There's a ridge of hills to the north side of the road. Is anyone walking up on that hill ridge, or is everyone staying on the flatlands?
Zero will scout ahead and look out upon the land from atop the hill.
All right, Zero. At one point,
I will be sneaky.
Yes. Okay. So maybe you're just you're staying on the wagon side, so you'll have cover from anything and be fairly well hidden. As it happens, though, you see you see a large grove of trees. There's a single tree in the front that's bigger than all the others, and it's clearly dead. It's not fungus covered like the ones you saw before, though. It's just a large dead oak tree. You can give me a perception check. And in front of that tree, there is a hovering figure. It's wearing a robe and just hanging in place. It's not moving. It looks to be a monk of some sort. Behind the forest with that perception check, you see there are various headstones. It looks like there's some sort of cemetery in that grove of trees behind the spirit.
I describe this to my companions. What do you think? Some kind of ghost maybe, or maybe a wraith?
Mr. Gray mutters, "Many expeditions have seen this. It is maybe a terrible omen, maybe a sign of good fortune. Only time will tell."
Do you want to investigate?
Not particularly.
Okay,
I
on to
don't
the
really
cultist.
have any reason to.
It doesn't bother us. Just like a tree.
He might be corrupting the tree. But yeah,
Roll 8.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, Mr. Gray, roll a D100 to see if it's a good omen or a bad omen. All right.
68.
You think it is you feel a strong sense that it is a good omen, and at one point during the expedition, you get inspiration. As a human, you start with inspiration. So as soon as you use your inspiration, you'll immediately get it refilled once.
Cool.
This is a good omen, not a bad omen. Had it been less than, had it been a fifth year lower, you would have had a negative inspiration, where I, as the DM, caused you to have disadvantage.
Indeed.
Shortly after that, there's a stream. You all refill your water skins just beyond this grove. It's on the south side of the road, though. And then near the end of the day, it's a little bit moist it's kind of almost foggy. But it's not miserable particularly. It's still kind of warm, even though it's spring. The experienced hired hands in this expedition know that there's a spot called the Quiet Camp up ahead. And you all notice that everywhere has gone quiet as you've approached. In the distance, there's one mountain that's a little smaller than all the others and closer to you. And at the foot of it, even from a distance, you can see some sort of massive structure made of stone. Some sort of whitish colored stone, and it looks rather sepulchral, even from afar. It's perhaps hundreds of feet tall and hundreds of feet across. and you see other ruins and jagged crags of buildings sticking out behind it. This, most of you will know, is Kharad-Hie, some sort of massive complex filled with magic and undeath. Do you want to camp at the Quiet Camp where other expeditions have camped? It's a circle of standing stones, just a little, like, maybe a half hour farther from where you're at. Or do you want to camp just on the road, out in the grasslands? What's the plan?
I vote Quiet
Yes. You too. Quiet camp is quiet, except for the screaming.
camp. I myself,
Alright.
Zero speaks up, have a set of dice. Does anyone want to gamble? 1 gold piece.
What? Gamble?
Mr. Gray says, yes, but let us gamble with our lives instead.
No.
How about
I do not have a gold piece, but I could pay you Tuesday.
Oh,
I'll dive in there with this dice game.
I am absolutely willing to join in, though I would prefer not to gamble my life away. You know what, Mr. Gray, I have a feeling we're going to be doing that already by going into that, whatever, dungeon, Kharad-Hie, whatever it is.
Okay. Just roll a 1d20, and I'm just gonna do it fair. So whoever rolls highest wins.
Is my credit good here?
Yes, it
I do
is.
not have a gold piece. Oh,
Oh no, I lost.
thank you.
I got a 12. Hey, lucky.
You know, let's get the bad rolls
That's
out.
one.
First, so, you know, it's like
So I
get it out
have
of our system.
the luck stone.
Oh
my gosh.
So I have a 13.
Luckstone adds 1 to this.
13. Oh,
All right.
lucky stone. He pulls it out of his pocket. He's like shifting it from hand to hand. He loves it. Ooh.
Zero slides over a
And
gold
these-
piece to you.
I think since
All
more people roll-
good. Bring it on. Come on, let's go
I think
around.
that-
We do double nothing?
No,
I
no,
think
too
4
much.
people played, so Zero, Raynora, and Merrick all pay
Mhm. 1 gold piece.
all pay
yeah.
1. So Augusto
Yeah.
actually gets 3 gold pieces.
His eyes are glinting. He just puts them in his pocket. Are you sure? Double or nothing. Double or nothing.
I think I had
Maybe
enough of this.
later. Exactly. But maybe, you know what? Maybe if you have a few more rounds like that back at the hamlet, you'll be able to pay off your debt even without killing that overlord or whatever.
Aiden is staring at a face he doesn't recognize. No comments.
Mr. Gray yells out to the empty air, Nettie, what are you doing here?
Nettie, where's Nettie?
But there is no one there.
Oh, Lord, did you see this?
Indeed, there was a woman there just now. Or only half of
White
one.
woman jump scare.
Does this what watch does this happen on?
Oh, so this is before the watches, just in the night. By the way, is the map pretty dark, or is it like daylight?
Yes,
still?
I can only see the circle of the campfire.
Yeah, it's very dark.
By the way, if you guys want to move around the campfire and wagon to some other spot, you can put it wherever you guys are camping. Another thing
Here
I'd
is
like
fine.
to note, since this is Zero's first night in the ruined countryside, you notice that the dark, there's something wrong with it. You're an Eldrin, your eyes have good night vision. Normally you could see 60 feet into the darkness, even in dark forests when there is no moon or stars. But here, something is wrong. Your eyes can only penetrate 20 feet into the darkness. It's as though something has reduced your dark vision by 2/3.
Okay.
Alright, so Vetus and 7 there.
So sorry, Mr. DM, is it fine if I drag out my homunculus out as well into the map?
Yes, I'm sorry I'm not sure I've set it up. Actually, I might have one somewhere.
I do have, it's at the bottom, I did set it up, so all you need to do is just
hell
place it
yeah.
into the familiar's tab.
Yeah, of course.
And also
Mr. Gray
reduce its size
approaches
'cause it's
Marek,
tiny.
points a finger at it. Pray tell, what is this horrible creature?
It's a bird.
No, that is clearly not a bird.
Well, it's sort of an imitation of a bird. See, okay, I'm gonna simplify it. Basically, I turned wood to live. It is now somewhat alive. It is a construct. It is a being that
But-
will help us.
Does it have a soul?
It has my soul.
So if it dies, you die. Strange.
In a manner of speaking, it cost a pretty penny. A part of me will die.
So you would be sad if it died. Is that so?
Yes.
I see. And Mr. Gray nods and goes and sits down with his dogs by the fire.
Alright.
So, Marek, this thing dies, is another piece of you going to turn stone? Is that how that happened to your arm?
Well, the whole hand thing was a bit of a isolated incident. I'd rather not get too deep into it, but let's just say that sometimes experiments go wrong, and unfortunately, my hand was a bit of the price. In this case, though, I'm quite happy to say that no explosions involved. Wooden bird has come to life and will hopefully be quite helpful in both scouting and using my magic, particularly because of said missing hand.
Well, I've heard tell of islands that have somebody who can turn a whole person's body to stone. There's all kinds of strange things out there. Well, I've seen a bird that flew so far, it was gone for 3 days, and it came back with food for its owner. You see the darndest things out there. I'll leave it at that.
All right.